Kia ora, ko taranaki te maunga, ko Waitara te awa, ko Tia te awa te iwi, ko Pounamu Scouten tōku ingoa. Ko roho tū toku kainga anai nei. So, my name's Pounamu. I live in Waitara, in a beautiful place called Rohotu, which is a traditional fishing village. It's on the river mouth of the Waitara River, and very blessed to be living back under my mountain where my tupuna come from. My philosophy is it's actually around all about kaitiakitanga, which tangata whenua have always practiced. So for me, sustainability really means kaitiakitanga. For me, it's about taking care of the natural resources that we are blessed in abundance around us. It's about me being totally tino rangatiratanga, or self-reliant on my own ability to create enough kai for my whānau, for my children, to create an abundance in our world today. So that means looking at that if we want to catch a fish, that there's still a fish that we can catch in the river. So taking care of our waterways, taking care of our ocean ways. So our beach, the beach that I live right on, looking after that. So for me, it's about taking responsibility as a tangata who shares this piece of whenua that I am a kaitiaki of. There's a spiritual relationship with our maunga. It provides history from my people who have always related to the landscape of the maunga. I guess more on a personal level, it gives me courage to be so grand, you know, that it can that if I can be anything like the maunga, then I can handle any challenges that come my way and continue to stand and to be proud. And when I first came home, that'd be about 14 years ago, blew me away how much water was flowing into this rohe, you know, from our maunga, such a enormous catchment of wai. And of course, to us as Māori, wai is health, it is wai ora, it is everything to us, you know. We're made up of water and we use water for healing. It's essential to our living. So all of those beautiful waterways, the awa that flow through our rohe and out to the sea, is like the blood that flows through our veins. Now modern society has meant that we have challenges, you know, because those waterways cross a whole lot of agricultural land. And of course in modern agriculture they're using a whole lot of chemicals on the land, which of course is flowing back down in through our waterways. So by the time it gets to us here on the seaside, the water's polluted. And we're seeing evidence of that now, kind of 40 years after commercial agriculture, that our kaimoana bed's polluted. We don't have any kaimoana out here. It's dead. It's outrageous. It's dead. We've got norovirus sitting in our kaimoana beds here. So the kai that is there, aha kohe iti, is now toxic to human consumption. So this is an accumulation of not taking care of our waterways. You know, us humans are all in this together. We want to enjoy our beautiful environment, except we keep dumping our rubbish. And we keep finding animal tags on the beach, which have travelled miles from up the river, and then they end up down at the sea, on the ocean. So, yeah, we're in a bit of trouble here. We need to step up, actually, as kaitiaki, as humans, and start taking care of all this rubbish that we've created. So it's just a big mad mess. We're creating all this, we keep mining all the oil out of the sea, and then we're making plastic, and then we're using plastic all the time, which is making us sick. And then we're dumping it. We've got so much that it's spilling out into our natural waterways, and then it's killing birds, and it's washing up on our oceans. Well, Council, we definitely need to clean up our water. And you will be meeting us on Tuesday at the protest around allowing our human waste to go out into the sea. It's just not good enough. This is 2010, and we just can't do that anymore. It's barbaric. It's from the Ark Age, and we're far more clever than that. We need to do something, and we need to do it now. We can't wait for another 5 years. It's just not okay. So we haven't installed composting toilets in Waitara, We're still using water, precious water, to flush away our waste, and it's ending up out in our sea. And of course it's contributing to all the pollution. And you know what? Our kids are out there surfing and being healthy amongst all this teko. So, e hara te tika, he teko. So it's just not okay, Council. We need your ears to listen. That if it was your children swimming in this shit, would you be okay with it? I don't think so. But it's my children, and I'm saying it's not okay to wait another 5 years until you can put some money into this, taking our teko elsewhere back into New Plymouth. Very blessed to live right on a surf break and to belong to the Waitara Barboard Riders. Now, as a family, as a whānau, what that means is our children are learning to surf, and they've been supported by the club to do free surf lessons in the summer. And, it gives them a relationship with tangaroa. So they learn to respect tangaroa, they learn to have tikanga around the tohu, the natural signs of tangaroa. So obviously they're small, they can't go out when it's too big. They're learning about rips and currents that will be in danger to them. And of course it's healthy, they come back with all flushed, with blood flowing through their bodies, and they're both asthmatics and they both have eczema. So when they go into the sea, it's really good for their respiratory system to breathe deeply and to work their heart. And also it helps clean up their skin because the salt water, and it dries it all out. So often we're using tangaroa as a place for healing for their eczema. And it brings great joy when you see, your kids are outside in the elements, having fun by exercising and having a relationship with tangaroa. So I think we're really blessed. This area used to be full of trees, and now, especially this summer when the drought has arrived, people are starting to suffer so quickly, because the earth's drying out. So by first cutting all the trees, you're exposing more of the whenua to the sun, and therefore it's drying out quickly. So we've got to change our practices, It's just not going to sustain us long term if we keep farming in the way in commercial manner. I've been to organic farms around the country and seen that by farming less animals on a piece of land and keeping the grass at a certain length, well then the animals are kept always fed. They're not anxious about where they're going to get their next feed. They need less fences because they're happy, they're content. It's like all of us, when we've had a good feed, we're not anxious anymore, more relaxed. So changing agricultural practices to more natural practices, so it's in line with the whenua and the climate. Yes, it might be abundant right now and we're just raping the earth and pulling out all that oil, but you know what? It's not sustainable. It's going to run out. So I invite you all to leave. We don't need you. You're not going to sustain us into the future. We need to find and explore other ways, which as Māori we've already done that before. We just have to remember how we did it, and let go of this addiction to oil, because it's ridiculous. It's just not going to sustain us into the future. With the technology and research that's gone on so far on this modern world, I actually really believe that this little community I live in could be off the grid, and we could use wind, which one of our whanaunga up the road's already using. He completely powers his house on wind. He's got a couple of windmills. We could tap into the energy that's happening every day outside with the ocean. And we can use the sun power because it's shining every single day. So we've got all the resources right here around us. We just need the technology's here. We just need the desire to make it happen. You know, this rohi is full of harakeke, full of it. And those people that hold that traditional knowledge around harakeke, for all sorts of use, you know, there's multiple diverse use for harakeke, and we've just sitting on a little gold mine here. We can grow it easily, there's already plenty of it. Yeah, my dream for this place is that it's converted back to organic practice and we grow more trees along our waterways, so that, you know, the birds that flying through down those waterways, there's trees, it's a tree corridor all the way to the sea for them. I mean, imagine that. That would be such a more beautiful place. The park in the future, blimey. I've seen some pretty cool real estate ideas, you know, that surrounding some houses in the middle is a communal space, a communal park for people, and it's full of, you know, it's got places for kids to play, it's got beautiful gardens, it's got rongoa gardens, it's got kai gardens, it's got composting for that group of houses to utilise, it's got worm farms. So I think there's some really cool models out there for us to investigate and look at, and start creating this place. I like more food around the place, you know. I mean, how cool will it be if you're a kid and you walk home and there's an orange tree, you just go and pick an orange and you eat it, and there's an apple tree, and in season there's grapevines everywhere. I mean, that's what I would see as being an awesome way forward, is that we're planting, yes, flowers and beautiful things, but also food, you know, kai, because we can grow everything here, macadamias, but to have those in public spaces, you know, so we can all enjoy the abundance that Papatūānuku gives us. I see that we could actually be fully sustainable in Taranaki if we changed our practice. I'd love to see us all taking care of one another better. The future is around traditional knowledge, practices that have been in place for thousands of years, and it's time for those to come out. I believe that tangata whenua hold the knowledge for the future. You know, this is about kaitiaki practices, this is about relationship with te taiao, the natural world, and I think it's time for our tauiwi whānau to come on board and actually start listening to what we're talking about, because we hold the tikanga, the ways, the practices that are tika, the ways that are correct, the ways that work with nature. And yeah, the time is now.